Hello, this is a free call from
An offender at the Chillicothe Correctional Center.
This call is from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free call, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, baby. Oh, 'cause y'all phones must be messed up again, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with them, and everybody's like, of all the days for it being messed up like it is, it had to be Mother's Day.
Right. I know. Look, yesterday I slept, it felt like all day long. I'd wake up, and the next thing I know, I was sleeping again. I guess from everything from New York, it just mentally, physically caught up with me. And, I mean, I woke up at 9 o'clock yesterday morning, and I came on the sofa, and before 10 o'clock, I was sleeping again. Because I would wake up, and because I'd say, oh, I'm going to catch up on my DVR, watch some shows. I wake up, and the show would be over. So, okay, well, that's an hour I slept, you know. I think I took 5 naps yesterday.
I think it's the stress of the trip and everything. Like,
Yeah.
people just need some time to rest and recuperate, rest and relaxation.
Right.
Yeah.
The article in the local paper that they came out awesome.
Good.
They put the picture of you, the one for Valentine's Day, and then we didn't realize how long this article was, and it's because it says at the bottom article on 3A. So I open it up, and there's the picture of me, you, and Dad, and then another long piece. I'm wondering if I could send you that.
I bet so. I think.
I mean, it's our local newspaper.
Yeah, I think if it's like a newspaper clipping or a copy of it, then yeah, I think I can get it.
Because, well, the people, I know some of the people that work there. So one of the girls, at the end of her route Friday night, she can bring me 10 or 12 extra copies at the back. She sent me a message. She's like, I'll put them on the back of your door. I don't know if they were sleeping. I was like, no, we were watching TV in the bedroom. So I have those. I have the one I kept. My mama has 2, because I'm going to definitely send one to Mike, because he's mentioned in it. We didn't mention him in it. Send one to Aaron. Send one to my dad, because he lives, in Texas. And but we have a lot of copies. Now I have 3 copies of the People magazine. And Kristy was like, oh, I'm going to use my last bit of money, to get. And I'm like, no, you're not. Send me an address and I'll mail you one. But, yeah, yesterday was, I slept. I woke up twice, and I had made me some smoothies. And those both times, 2 of those times that you called, my blender was on, and I didn't hear my phone. I was like, son of a bitch,
Well, I was like, I'm gonna call to wish you happy Mother's Day early, because I didn't know if you'd be doing anything today. And then,
girl, I'm still in my pajamas.
So I was like, well, I'm just going to call tomorrow. And then everybody's like, the phones are messed up. And everybody's trying to say, what you said? And he doesn't hear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah, well, Dad, was yesterday. It was like, what you want for Mother's Day? I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. And he's like, well, think about it. because he went to Mama Manny's yesterday all day because Uncle Leon and his wife and their kids were down. They came down from Houston, and your dad stayed over there, and him and Uncle Leon played the guitar till, I don't know, I think Dad came home between 12:30 and 1 o'clock in the morning. His fingers are hurting him from playing so much. And yesterday, Mia went fishing with her boyfriend and their family. Then went to church with their family. And she got here. It was about 10 o'clock. I was taking off the kitchen light. I had just went turn on the lamp in the fireplace room where Sage is with her cats, with the babies. And but I have to keep her in the kennel during the night because I'm scared that if one of us gets up, because she takes them out and she tries to put them somewhere else. She tried putting them in the closet in the front bathroom. She tried putting one in Mia's closet. And it's like, I guess she doesn't want them to be seen or something by different people. Like today 3 times, she had one, and I would tell her, Sage, come on, bring her back or it back, because we can't tell what the sex is yet. And she'll bring it back in the kennel, and I'll close the kennel for her to stay in there, so she could feed them and everything. But this morning she was like meowing, like she was all upset. And I'm like, what's wrong? Why are you upset? And she was looking in Aurora's kennel, and I'm like, oh, she wanted Aurora. Aurora was outside on her line. So when Dad came inside, I'm like, she's crying for Aurora, so why don't you go get Aurora? So after that, she was fine. But, yeah, she's a real good mom, but she needs to keep them in there, But I had Aurora's kennel closed, everything. She put one through the bars, one of the cats in there with Aurora. And Aurora's standing up, and she's freaking out, And I tell Dad, I'm like, oh, my gosh, she shoved one in the kennel with Aurora. And Aurora's like standing up, like, what do? It was funny. So I opened the kennel, and I brought her, and it's the same one every freaking time. It's the same one. It's not a different one. It's always the same one. And like I fuss her, I'm like, you get your butt in the kennel, come on, let's go. Dad does her the same thing. Tells her, Sage, come on, and she follows that, and he says, no, put her in there, and he puts her. She puts him in, and so it's not like she don't know what we're saying, because she does. She's really smart.
Animals are so smart.
Yeah.
Smart. They know
So
what's going on, absolutely.
yeah, I have 2 people that want them, want each of one. They want males, because I have, Tanya that lives in the front of my street. She always wants to get dogs. And I'm like, look, Tanya, you always get dogs, and then 2 months later, you putting it that. Yeah, well, she works, so she doesn't have time for them. So she always, buys these dogs and then puts them on Facebook that she, don't have time for. And I'm like, take one of the cats. I said, they take care of themselves. You won't come home to piss and shit all over the place. It's in the litter box. And she's like, oh, I never thought about that. I'll take a male. I'm like, okay. I'm hoping there is a male. I hope, they could all be females. They could be 3 males, 2 females. We don't know yet. Because it takes, you know a lot about cats. How long does it take to know the gender of them?
It has to do, I'm reading in a little book. I don't know how to tell exactly, but it has to do with how far apart their
right
is from the vagina. more closely together. I don't remember.
Right.
I
guess I'm gonna
be. We had sweetie pie. Whenever we had sweetie
right.
pie, I didn't know if she was a girl or a boy because she was only a week or 3 days old. So I didn't know we had to take sweetie pie to the vet to know. So it was only whenever we took her to the vet that we found out.
I know, like the ones I tried to rescue years ago, and look, I lost them all. And they still had the umbilical cord. It was raining, and the mama took off, and I could hear them crying outside one of my windows. And I fed them around the clock. I would wake up every 3 hours, bottle feed them, stimulate them for them to use the bathroom. And they were like, oh, once they're a week old, they're out of the woods. And I would lose one every day. And, oh, Lord, I cried. I cried like I lost a kid because it's like you're the one that feeds them and, and everything. So I was like, oh, I failed them. And then the last one, I was like, the eyes was opening. And I woke up at 4 o'clock that morning, and it must have just died. I was like, oh, no. I felt terrible. But, like, we buried them all under the deck now. Since we put the deck, they buried under the deck.
Well,
but the people,
so freaking cute.
They're tiny. Oh my God, they could fit in the palm of my hand, especially the runt. The runt didn't look like it was bigger than my index finger.
Their little ears are like folded over, and they have an open little eye, and they're trying to sniff around because it's the only way that they can, move around. And when they start walking, it's so cute because they're wobbly.
They fly, yeah. And I have a blanket in there for them to have grip. And I was watching 2 of them yesterday, just, smelling sage. And boy, when they found her and they latched onto her. And, and Rod's like, your dad's like, hey, what? All Sage does is sleep and feed the babies and eat. I'm like, yeah. And because I know you have to feed her. I feed her like twice a day now because she has to, feed the babies. So at night I keep her food and her water in the kennel because it's a big kennel, like really big, because it was big enough for Caesar, and Caesar's a pit, So yeah, so it's big enough in there, for her food, for her, for the babies. And I've been taking pictures of them. I'm going to have to take another one of them. And when I go, I don't know if Aaron's going to send you pictures from Tuesday night. Yeah, of the ones from the screening that we all took together, and stuff. I'm sure she will. Or I will. I told her, like, let's figure out, who's going to send what to her. But I want to definitely go with my phone and, I'm going to take another good picture of the babies and send them to you. They're so tiny.
Put in my photo album.
Oh,
like
guess what?
Like
Bobby,
cats and dogs that I just put up to decorate my area a little bit.
Bobby made you a GoFundMe account last night.
Bobby?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said let me get to it. Let me see. Because somebody sent me my niece Megan sent me a text, and she's like, Bobby made Gypsy a GoFundMe account. I'm like, no, this was like 11 something at night. So I go look on his page, and sure enough, he put one, and he has it to his goal is $100K.
Oh my God.
$100,000 is his goal, and I told him, I said, Bobby, you didn't need to do that, and he's like, look, I feel like, let me get to his page so I could read you the comment that he told me. Let me see, right here. I was like, I said, oh, Bobby, that's so sweet for you to do. And he said, I know life hasn't handed her the best of hands, and I feel in some ways I let her down. So it's the least that I could do. And I asked him if he put it in the support group, too. And he said he sure did. And he says, I will. I'm usually asleep by now. I can't sleep. This has been on my mind all day. So I put it in the group, and I just simply said, look, if y'all don't, if y'all don't want to put any money, because they're always asking us, in the group, what can I do to help? What can I do to help? And I said, look, if y'all want to put some in this account, fine. If not, I understand, the support and everything y'all do and praying for her, is, amazing, I mean, even if one, like, if everybody would put like $10 or whatever, but Bobby wants you, he said, he put petition to free her is next. I mean, yeah, because, we never ask anybody, to put money. There was one girl from Canada that was having a hard time finding the website to put money, and but Billy helped. Yeah, Billy gave her the phone numbers, because I was like, Billy might be able to help with that. And so she found the number to call instead of the website.
Oh, yeah.
So, in fact, I need to go check the mail.
Working together and stuff. That's so sweet
yeah.
of everybody.
I know. I'm waiting to, it's funny, I didn't get any backslash from Darla and Claudia about the article in the newspaper, and I did warn Vicky. I said they might call you, and bitch, but it's freedom of speech.
Well, I mean, I'm getting anxious for tomorrow. I can definitely say that the anticipation is.
Yeah.
It's night right now, but I'm ready. I'm just so ready for it to kind of be over, and to where it can come out, and just instead of waiting for it to come out, it finally
right.
will.
Do y'all have access, like, to look up an article online? Can y'all do that?
No, we have no access to the internet.
Oh, because the one they did online with People magazine is amazing.
Well, I mean, if I was still in county, they had a
yeah.
tablet there, and
right.
had access to People Magazine, all of those websites. But in here, the only access we get is at the law library. But I think that's even, I don't think that goes through the internet. I think that is a program that's set up at the library.
Right, yeah, because, you could do that. You could set it up. But I've been saving them all on my Facebook in a saved thing. So, like, when you get out, you could read everything.
Yeah, because, like, I've been saving the newspaper articles since I've been in here. And mostly it's not even about me. It's mostly about Nick, but it still ties back to me in the case.
It does.
And then I printed out the one that had about the documentary. It was in the Springfield paper a month ago or whatever. And I printed that one out. And I saved all the emails from, like, the Dr. Oz show or Dr. Phil show, their letterhead and everything, the official letter they sent me and stuff. So I keep that all in a file that I have media and press. So I keep that all in there.
Yeah.
And
Rachel. Yeah. Well, that's good that, at least you'll better watch the one tomorrow morning. Rachel posted the picture of y'all two.
Oh, yeah.
And she put me and my bestie. God, I miss her so much. I miss her yelling, Rachel, in her sweet little voice.
Yeah, I always used to call her, and I'm like, Rachel, wait up for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Now somebody posted, let me see if I could find it. And Mike was pissed off. It was Penny had, and it was just, her thinking out loud, saying, she wishes she could hug you, tell her she's sorry, your life was that way. It should not have been, life should not have been that way for her. I'm angry at her attorneys that they did not fight harder for her. And I was like, look, they did the best they could, and everything. Well, Mike must have took it out because he laid into her ass.
I'm sure.
Let me see. He sent it to me. I'm going to read it to you because he sent it to me in a text. He's like, this is what I want. Well, yeah, pretty much. I'm going to find where he sent it to me, and he was like, I want to send this. I want to put this. And I'm like, may freaking put it. He's like, Karina, don't let. I'm like, they freaking put it, And, okay, right here. Penny Nation, if you would like to contact me on Messenger and share your ideas as to where my legal team and I failed, I will share with you the number of hours of sleep I lost over a year of handling this case. And he said, Corino doesn't let me post it. I'm like, fuck it, send it. But she did apologize to Mike. She sent him a private message, and she said, by no means I meant to insult you, Mike. I guess my wording should have been better. I'm not a lawyer, and I do not know the law, but I wish there was something that could exist for people that get abused and resort to what she did. I do apologize. I would be glad to post an apology on the page. I know you worked hard. I wish she would have not served a day, in jail. And you put apology accepted. No one wishes more than me that there was more that I could have done. However, the risk involved in every decision made and the plea was the best option. I still, to this day, question that there was more I could have done, but I know that there isn't without taking unnecessary risk. A guilty verdict under murder one means she dies in prison. So they cleared that up, you know.
This call is from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
He texted me and he's like, you know, I wish I could have brought her home. And I said, Mike, don't you get it? You are bringing her home. She will be here before you know it. Trust me. We couldn't have done this without you. And he was like, thank you, you know. I mean, it's easy for people to say, I could have done this. You know, I would have done this. I would have done that. You know, it's easy for people to say that, but they weren't in this position, you know.
Exactly. And I mean, a lot of people are like, you know, even in here, after reading the article or something, they're like, you should have took it to trial, or you should have done this, or there is, you know, another law that is called homicide, justifiable homicide, or something like that. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that if there was a law that said that a murder would be justified by something, I'm sure my attorney would have told me.
Exactly.
You know, something
like this. I mean, we all think that because Judge Holden didn't want to bring people from out of state about this case, he wanted to get local people. And there's a lot of them that were local that thought you should be in there, you know, forever. And there's some that thought you should walk out. So I think you and Mike, you know, discussed this and knew what was the best option.
Yeah.
I mean, because in June it's going to be 2 years.
You know?
Yeah.
Right, and it doesn't even seem like it's been 2 years. Like, at times it'll seem like, oh, well, it was so long ago that all of this happened and everything. But if you think about it, it's like, oh my goodness, time has passed so quickly. You know, I went from being in county, you know, being in Wisconsin County Jail, which I remember that quite vividly, to now with going through my entire case, going through R&O, and spending time in Australia and everything. So much has happened, but, you know, I mean, it's just the way time passes. And as long as I'm keeping busy and doing stuff with my day, it'll make it pass by fast. Because in county, I was just sleeping my time away. I would buy these, what are they, Claritin tablets on
to make you drowsy.
To make me sleep all the time. And that's how I passed my year by. You know,
and now you have school, you have a job, you know, I mean, which helps.
And I mean, I didn't exactly play, but I practiced softball for a little bit.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. They have this cute little pink bat that hardly weighs anything, and I was trying to hit the ball. I hit twice.
Good.
Yeah. I'm trying sports out for the first time. Not going to say I'm good at it, but I will say that I tried it.
Look, and the more you practice, the better you get.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, you couldn't, you know, do none of that before. So now you can, and, you know. Yeah. Which is awesome, you know, that you could experience all of this. It may be, you know, in prison, but at least you're getting to do it, you know.
Right. And it's like there's enough going on to where it doesn't seem so small. Because I know even in a city like Springfield, whenever we first moved there, it seemed so big. But then as we lived there more, it got smaller and smaller. Because there's no more people. And that's going to happen eventually. It's going to be where at the end of my stay, it's going to be, oh, my God, this last year is going to kill me. You know, it seems like it goes by fast. And then the last year, everybody says, before they go home, is the longest. Then all the time they spend.
Look, that's just like a pregnancy. That last month feels like all 9 months into one because it takes, because it's there, it's coming, and it just feels like it's, oh my God, when this baby's gonna come out, And Dylan was a week late. He was due May 8th, but he came out on the 15th. Yeah. So it's like,
yeah,
I know that feeling. That last year, and maybe not right at the last year, but like the last few months, it's gonna, it's gonna feel like it's dragging ass.
Oh yeah.
But I say the last, year, the last month or the last 2 months, if you feel like it's dragging, just keep busy.
Mhm.
Let your days go by, because the more you stay busy, the day goes quicker.
Mhm.
And
I'm dead set on to save some money and put it in my savings account for when I get out. And because I know that the first thing I need to do is see my PO, not right when I get out, but whenever we get home, is go see my PO. And then after that, start looking for a job. And then I'm going to need to, take a driver's test to get my license, learn how to drive before I can buy a car.
Yeah, you're going to have to go to driver's ed.
Right.
You're going to have to take driver's ed.
I don't think about all that way too early, but I mean, I'm a planner. I live by calendar.
Right.
I write down every little thing in my calendar. Even who I send letters out to see, okay, well, I sent a letter out this day. They're going to get it on this day.
Right.
Over prepare everything. And so I'm thinking.
You like to organize.
Yeah, organize.
You just like your dad. Oh my God, your dad looks organizes like crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, I always organize my locker and stuff, and I let's do that 3 times a week. And so what I was thinking is I have the copy of the canteen list, so I'm like thinking, okay, I don't need to have big extravagant deals fill me up. I can buy a bag of cereal, a bag of coffee, and a couple of noodles, and that'll be fine for me. Because my roommate wants me to learn how to cook. And she's like, well, buy this, buy that, and we'll cook this kind of meal. And so I'm like doing that, but I'm like, I don't really eat anything but the chicken, so I don't eat pepperoni and things like that to fill me up and be happy. I'm happy with regular rice. And these people have never heard of freaking a rice pot. They've never heard of a rice pot. Yeah, and they're like, so how to cook in the rice pot. I'm like, put the rice in, then you put the water in, and then you put some salt in, and then you put the little bun down. It kind of looks like a slow cooker, but it's a rice pot.
Right.
They're like, oh my God, you don't put salt in water, and they're like, you don't like sugar water? That's so weird. I'm like, I don't like sugar water because I've always had rice with salty stuff.
Right. Like when I put my rice to cook, I don't put salt in it. A lot of people do, but I'm one, like, I don't put a lot of seasonings in what I cook because not everybody likes too much seasoning, and I rather it have some flavor. But if they want to add seasoning, they could. That's just the way I do it. My mom does that too, so I mean.
I like the chicken, it's the chicken bouillon, and I like to cook it with some butter, and I'm fine with that. I can eat that over and over again. And so the rice costs 90 cents, and it can eat 2 meals. So I'm like, I can eat very cheap and put $50 or $75 in my savings account and come out with thousands of dollars when I get out. To, buy clothes or put a down payment on a car or whatever it is that I want to put it for when I get out.
Right. And, like you said, when you come home, I don't want you to say, okay, I need to look for a job. I want you to be able to relax a few months. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
I mean, we don't want Well, it's not. I mean, we want you to just kind of settle in and, learn the lay of the land again here and, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we don't expect you to get out and say, look, no, you don't need to worry about none of that.
It's not that I'm worried. It's what the PO will require me to do because I've heard many people say that whenever you get out, you have a certain time period to find a job. And
yeah, well, I mean, we know enough people here. I mean, you could probably get a job with Aunt Tammy and I'm working at the library.
Yeah.
I mean, we have enough people here that's family that could help you out with that, if it's a little job, if whatever,
Right.
So don't worry about that right away. We're going to help you with that.
Yeah, that sounds good. We still have plenty of time to think about that. And I was talking to
Exactly.
I was like, how do you build up credit? Because I have no credit right now. And she's like, well, you can buy one of those prepaid credit cards and.
Well, what? Dad, yeah. Well, this is what Dad did to Dylan. He got a credit card under Dylan's name. And to build up his credit, your dad uses the card and pays it. So he'll probably do the same thing with you. Get a credit card under your name with a certain amount of limit, buy something for $50 or something every month, pay it in full, and the more you do that, your credit goes up.
Oh, okay.
That's what we're doing for Dylan, so we could easily do that for you.
Yeah.
It's like I wonder if we could do that now. Yeah, I wonder if he could do that now for you. You know what I'm saying? Just put a card under your name.
My roommate said that is possible. It has been locked up for about 3 years, but she said that maybe you could get your dad to buy something in your name
and put it under your name.
And make it to where it builds your credit.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him to
build credit.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him to do that. Oh, and he did call Friday to talk to a malpractice lawyer.
Okay.
So I'm sure this was Friday afternoon. So I'm sure he'll call us next week. He is one of the best in Louisiana. So we're definitely going to, start on that, especially now that the documentary is coming out. People will watch it and, and lawyers may watch it and say, okay, we have something here, because the other ones that, that Mike referred him to shot him down.
Right.
So maybe after this is out and everything, they'll say, oh, yeah, we want this, and just, do it to where he gets paid when the case is done.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Michelle said she's going to help us.
I know that I can't get paid, if we won a malpractice lawsuit. I wouldn't be able to get the money, but Dad would be under.
No, but Dad.
Under Dad's name or something to hold it and put it in maybe a thing where it could build
savings.
Stock or a savings. I'm not smart with these kind of things.
Well, yeah, we could put it in a savings, but I'm going to ask him, I'm going to tell him to see if he could, let's get a credit card in her name like we did for Dylan, and the limit might be $100 at the start. But your dad puts, buys something for $50, and pays it off, that builds up your credit. And then the limit gets higher as the years go. you know. But as long as you
by
pay
the
it in
time
full.
and have his credit built up. So, yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because I'm gonna have to definitely, you know, inquire about that. You know, I don't see why it wouldn't be possible. I mean, we have. It's not like. I mean, we have your social security number and all of that stuff. So, I mean, I don't see why we couldn't. You know, when we have all information. And I mean, we didn't have to have when he did Dylan's. He didn't have to have any proof. You know, he just did it under Dylan's name. You know.
Okay.
So we'll do that. Definitely, we'll do that.
Okay, that sounds good. The phone sounds a little bit. Starting to understand you a little better.
Right, and look, when you get out in 7 years, well, 6 years now, it's one. You know, you done 2 almost. So your credit should be really good when you get out.
Right.
You know.
And that would be good because, like my roommate, I was asking her, you know, whenever I'm like ready to move out or find an apartment or whatever, whenever that time comes, you know, how does that process go? And she's like, do you have any credit? And I'm like, no. You know, my mom had a bunch of credit cards, but they were all in her name. And so, like, my mom, she had, like, excellent credit. So she would pay the bills on time and everything, and we had, like, a credit card from every single store possible, I think. But,
I saw, they showed pictures of the cards, of the credit cards, like, in the, when the police took pictures of everything, and they have every freaking, you know, card. I mean, when you get out and, you know, we want to go to Mike's office, and if you want to, I mean, I don't know if you want to see all the pictures or anything, but he wouldn't have a problem showing them to you.
I know.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just some pictures you won't want to see, you know.
Right.
But
I mean, there's pictures that I'm never going to want to see, and, like, some of them, like, you know, the bland stuff that I already know what it looks like the kitchen and stuff like that. I'm like, I already know what all that looked like. It was a mess, and my bedroom was a mess and everything. But,
that
I mean,
spare bedroom, Jesus.
Do they have pictures of the spare bedroom?
That was bad.
Yeah.
I took one. That's the only picture I took of the house in that room. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You couldn't walk in it.
Room. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
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 But the massive clothes.
I mean, that we were talking about it. Probably when Mia is in college, we're gonna probably put the house for sale and buy some property. In La Rose, there's 2 lots that he's looking at that would be nice for like a modular home, because the trailers don't look like trailers anymore, like a modular home, and there would be enough on the property like to put you like a tiny house, you know.
So you thinking about moving to La Rose?
Yeah, I mean, we live right at the beginning of Cutoff, and but yeah, he talked about that because our house is, I mean, it's old. It's 90-something years old, and he's like, you think when I'm going to be like in my 60s or whatever, I'm going to want to crawl under the house? I mean, you have to be really freaking skinny and small to crawl under the house because it's so low to the ground. So, you know, he talked about that and everything, and Mia's like, well, why don't we just do it now? And well, like, no, you know, I mean, we're going to be redoing their bathroom next time Dad gets off, because it's like, just, it needs to be redone. It's pathetic. You know, and redo the kitchen and everything, and, you know, get the house valued. It's going to be worth a lot because, I mean, since we added the big shed and the deck and everything, we should get a decent price. But that's in years to come, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But, like I, told him, I said, definitely we could put, when we move, when that time comes, if we even do it, there would be enough room, like, to put you something, where you're, there,
Yeah, I'm sure I can, like, have something built,
Yeah.
like a little house or something. I'm sure I can. That's definitely the helpers, the manpower to help build it. A lot of.
Oh, that would probably be, yeah. I mean, yeah, your brother could build that, or we could get somebody. You could just design it the way you want it,
Yeah.
or whatever. But you still writing in your journal?
I am. I've got probably about a stack of papers full of just random thoughts that I have not organized yet, so it's kind of scattered here and there.
Right, because that's going to help you with your book when you write your book. I don't think anyone should write a book except you.
Yeah.
And me and Aaron and I'll talk about that.
Publishing companies and stuff.
Yeah, well, and in fact, John Murphy, who is Donna's right-hand man, he was like, she could, get a ghostwriter, to do it, like you send them all their stuff and they put it together and, write the book.
Okay.
But you get the credit.
Okay.
But that's what they're called, ghostwriters, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'll say written by,
Got to where I'm getting better at punctuation stuff. So if I was going to write a book, they would not want my punctuation in there.
Well, yeah, well, that's what the ghostwriter's for too. I mean, look, whenever your dad writes something or whatever, he'll send it to me. I think it was when he had to write something to Mike, and he made me, reread it, and I'm like, okay, you spelled this wrong, a comma needs to go here, a period needs to go here, this needs to be capitalized, this is where your new paragraph should be starting, stuff like that, because it would be one long run-on sentence,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely for sure I'll be one of those. I know.
Oh, yeah.
Extra hard in math because I'm like, I really want to hurry up and get it out of the way. So I can do other things. And I have to look into whether or not I can take cosmetology now I get my GED, or do I have to have a release date? Because if I had to have a release date, I have to wait till after I see the board. So I just have to find that out, which won't be hard. I can go back tomorrow to see about that.
Yeah.
And tomorrow I'm going to watch Good Morning America, and then I'm going to head off to the library to see if they got some Springfield paper with y'all interviewing.
Okay.
But no. And then...
Yeah, they did really good, too, in the article.
Yeah. So it's going to be a little busy day, but not so much since I'm going to be, like, stalking the TV tomorrow. Because they had something, they mentioned it on either the doctors or a show like that, because one of the girls that's on my wing said, oh, they mentioned your documentary. And I'm thinking, well, Good Morning America hasn't aired yet till Monday. And they're like, no, it's on, like, the doctors or something that they referenced it. So I'm like, oh, okay. Darn it, I missed it.
Yeah, I didn't know it either.
But I'll definitely be looking tomorrow for everything. I wonder if it's going to be referenced on E! News. Because E! News definitely shows like it's going on HBO and things like that. Anything of any significance, they usually report on. But,
right.
Is there on the article, the one that Michelle did, on the front of it, it said that it was put up on E-News, like promoted to E-News. So that's why I'm wondering.
Really?
Yeah, because she sent me a copy of the article, and they had like different little icons at the bottom, and it had like a little arrow going up, and it had E-News, promoted by E-News.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to check that out on Facebook or on the internet and see. I mean, I like to get, like, every article, you know, about it, even though it's, like, a lot of it's, you know, repetitious. I mean, they say the same thing, you know, but some things they, you know, is different. You know, some quotes, you know, they'll use that, you know, we said in another newspaper or we said on an interview or whatever. They'll, you know, put things in there too. So it's like trying to get all of this, you know, so I could get it all printed up and put it like get a binder for it, you know, and have everything in there from when you get out. Every article that was ever written, you know, about it.
Yeah.
You know.
I wish I read the beginning articles. I read my fair share in the beginning and did not like those. But the ones that are printed out now are better. So, but I remember looking at those, and I'm like, in Green County, they normally take the articles about an ending out.
Right.
Well, they had one, you know, that would leave it in there so everybody could read it. And I go into the shower and just, you know, I'm going to go take a shower, everything's fine, read the paper, whatever. Come out of the shower 5 minutes later and everybody's looking at me. And I'm like, what is everybody staring at me for? And like, I'll keep my face on the paper, that ugly buckshot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm glad that Vicki asked me, you know, like, y'all have a recent picture of her, you know, and I was like, finally somebody's like, give me a recent picture of her, you know. And, I mean, so many people were like, oh, my God, look how much she's changed, you know, she's beautiful, you know, and everything. I mean, they just can't get over the transformation, you know. Yeah.
I did, and I don't even have a copy of my Valentine's picture because I made a copy for me. And then I was like, oh, Miss Billy needs a copy of a picture of me, so I sent her one.
Right. I know you had sent us. Yeah. I know you sent us 2 of them for Valentine's Day, and I gave one to Mama Sharon for her to have, you know, and she was all excited, you know, like, oh, for me, you know, so she could put it up in a frame, you know, in the house. I have the one of me and that in a frame. All the other ones you sent are on the ice box, you know, when, you know, they're all up. And, yeah, I have them up, you know, and it's like I have the one of you, you know, that your mom took with the hat on in the yard.
Yeah.
You know, but a hat, it's in black and white. I have that up in a frame in the living room, you know, because in the living room it's all my kids, you know. You have one wall, you have a wall, you know, with your picture, and, you know, Dylan and Mia's school pictures, and, you know, his graduation picture. There's a picture of me and Dad for our wedding. So, I mean, all of that's just me, Dad, and our 3, you know, kids. And I was like, yeah, I need you know, now it looks complete, you know. got a picture of her up in there, but what I want to do is get the one that we took and get it enlarged and put that one up because, I mean, I love the picture, you know, that your mom had took of you then, but it's like that's not how you look now, you know. It kind of reminds me of what you all been through, and I'd rather just, you know, put a recent picture of you standing and with your long hair, you know, but it is in a frame, the smaller one. But it's like I definitely want to get a bigger one made, you know.
I definitely think, like, whenever somebody's like, oh, well, send me a picture or whatever, I'm like, but the pictures that I've always had doesn't look like me now.
No.
And I kind of feel like I've spent 20-something years going through that awkward teenage phase, you know, and I'm only now starting to look like what I should look like. So I'm like, the only recent pictures I have of me are, you know, in prison.
Right.
It's okay, you know.
Right.
Lots of pictures of it, you know, buy a camera and have lots of pictures. By then, I think they'll have freaking digital cameras and watches that you can just put up to your face and text.
Right. I mean, you even look totally different from the interview you did, you know, with Aaron, you know, on the documentary. I mean, your hair is longer, it's a different color, you know, you wear it straight, you know.
And I lost some weight.
Yeah.
We kind of leveled out. Somebody had saw my picture that I took in Vandalia. They're like, oh, you're kind of chunky. I was like, well, I just came from county weighing 150 pounds. And
yeah. Well, Rachel told me to tell you she loves you because she put a happy Mother's Day to me on my Facebook, and I told her, I said, thank you, I'm on the phone with Gypsy now. She said, tell her I love her. And I said, I sure will.
Oh, well, tell her I love her. I try to call her all the time, but she works, and she's in long-term treatment, so she's a lot busy all the time. So whenever I do get a hold of her, we usually talk for a long time. So.
Yeah. Now you still thinking about the marriage situation?
No. Like, that was just, I was curious into it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't actually going to, you know, go that far. I just wanted to feel out how y'all felt about it. I guess it made nice from y'all first. And Sebastian, and Sebastian is Rachel's friend. She introduced me.
Right.
And so, like, I told him that I'm not ready to be in a marriage, you know, because I even asked about it in my Pathways to Change class. I'm like, do you think that is a smart thing to get into a marriage without meeting somebody? Because, I mean, people do it. Like, you have a lady here, she's in her, I'm going to say 60s, early 60s, and she just got married to someone that she's never met, but they wrote for about a year.
Right.
And,
I mean, I kind of understand if, like, yeah, I can understand if you would be in there, you know, for life, you know.
Right.
But you're going to be 32 years old when you get out. You know, you have a lot of life to live.
Right. I told him that, and I'm like, I understand that this would have been the only way for us to actually get a visit to each other. But, I mean, whenever I get out, I'm going to have a car. And so if you're living here or whatever, I'll come and visit. And I don't want us to stop writing or anything just because I'm saying that I'm not going to marry you. But just know that I do care about you. And I'm starting to fall in love with him. Like, I can't not put my feelings in.
Right.
because it already is involved.
Right.
And, like, I really tried hard not to, but
yeah, sometimes it's hard. I mean, your feelings are your feelings. You can't help, how you feel about somebody. And if if it's that strong now, it may be that strong when you get out. You don't know, or somebody better might come along. I mean.
Right, because I'm like, it's so early on into.
Oh yeah.
And like, if we're still talking, and if we still feel this way, 3 months before I get out, I told them that I'd ask you guys if it would be okay if we would, go whenever I get out and maybe eat somewhere or go to dinner or something.
Right. Yeah, we want to know. Yeah.
And y'all can,
right. We want to meet him too.
We gotta. It's not like it was whatever, and I said my situation, my background of being with my mom for so long and her rule and everything. So I'm like, I explained to him that was my life before. But the relationship that I have with my parents now is so different. I could be open about my feelings. I could be open about what's going on in my life and my brain and everything, and not be afraid, oh, she's going to punish me. Oh, I'm going to get hit. Oh, I'm going to, I'm going to not be able to eat or something. And so I'm like, whenever the time comes, if we're still talking and we still like each other as much as we do now, then yeah, of course I'm going to have to meet my parents and things like that so they can get to know you and you can get to know them and me better. But it's still very early on for that. So
right, and we gotta, ask the parent questions, I mean, just like we would, like we did, when with Nala, with Dylan, but girls, we gotta, I mean, I guess, can you take care of her, can you, provide her for what she needs, stuff like that. It's not going to be, exactly, right. It's not like we're going to run background checks on them or anything, But I know some parents that do that. They like run background checks on some of the guys, like some of their boyfriends and some. One of my best friends, her dad used to work for the police department, and every guy we dated, he would do it. What's his first and last name? She'd do a background check, just to see if he's good. Yeah, I was like, oh, but that, I mean, he was a cop. That was his deal. He wanted to make sure his girls were, which he considered me one of his, just like my parents consider Michelle one of theirs. He just wants to make sure, like, they didn't get into no trouble or, whatever. I mean, in that time we were in high school, it's like, so there wasn't really much, Right.
And, like,
I'm letting everybody know.
Talked about if he would get into more trouble and everything. I'm like, are you finished with this kind of life? Are you done with using? Are you done with marijuana? Are you done with all of this? And he's like, yeah, I really am. Like, he doesn't even want to go to his mom's house if his mom is having people from that, kind of lifestyle come to her house. So I'm like, I'm proud of that he is really trying. And like, I told the same thing to Rachel. I'm like, I'm not going to be mad at you if you go back into that kind of lifestyle, but just know that you could be so much better than that. And I want so much better for you. And so far, she does not use anymore. She's going to make sure that she has a job and she got her new car. And I'm proud of you because you are doing so much better. And you're believing in yourself.
She says in here on her Facebook that she's engaged to Aaron.
Oh, they
and
did
her. That's what it says, engaged to Aaron GK. It's like a G and a K. And there's her profile picture is her and the guy. Like she's kissing him on the cheek. He has sunglasses on.
Aw, that's awesome. I'm happy for him. He was a bag.
Yeah, this guy's cute too. Yeah, this guy's cute. That she's with. Yeah.
I was telling
And
her trying to get pregnant, and I was like, okay, listen, I looked at a bunch of YouTube videos. This is what you gotta do. Like,
yeah.
I credit for helping you get pregnant.
Right.
Yeah, she's a good friend. Both her and Kristy are good friends.
Right.
Kristy sent me song lyrics. Like, this song is by AWOL Nation, and it's called Stable.
Roar.
And it's like, blame it on the
Someone did.
baby. Like, that's the only part that I know.
Well, I'm going on the phone with your sister. Brother said, what's up? Okay. Yeah. They're going, they just got back from home. And, well, I think we're doing steaks tonight. Yeah. Okay, my baby.
But
all right.
And I'm just in a couple days. I'm gonna let the documentary to everybody and see what happens and everything. So you see how the response is and everything. So I'll probably call Tuesday or something.
Okay, yeah, 'cause it plays for like a week or two on HBO. They'll probably play longer, but that's the furthest to let me go down to see, how far. So, but well, you have a good day. I love you.
Yeah.
And we'll talk soon. Okay, baby. Have a good one. Love you too. Bye-bye.
The person you called has hung up. Hello, this is a free call from
an offender at the Chillicothe Correctional Center.
This call is from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free call, press Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, what's up?
Okay. So I called because I just finished watching
Okay, you cut.
my favorite
I
book.
can hardly hear you.
I know.
The
I
phone's
can
acting weird.
Yeah, the phones are pretty bad. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I just finished watching my favorite show. It has its season finale. And I wanted you to put, if you can, in the group, that I just watched the season finale of Once Upon a Time. And
Okay.
I love my parents. And it's very
Okay.
Like,
I'm gonna. I don't watch that, but I'm gonna have to watch it on Netflix.
It's
I think
so
it's on Netflix.
good. It's so good. That episode that they had tonight, it was like it kind of recaps a lot of what happened through the 6 seasons that we've had so far, and it's all about the whole episode they had tonight. It was all about hope, and at the end of it all, they all got reunited with their loved ones and everything after so much trials and tribulations that they had to go through, and to show that hope prevailed. And I'm like, I have to tell Mom to post this in group.
I'm doing it as we talk. Once Upon a Time, right?
Right.
Oh.
It's just so close to home.
Okay. Wait, give me 1 second. And hashtag.
I love my parents.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I put before I hit send. So I'm on the phone with Gyp. She wants to let everyone know she's just watched the season finale of Once Upon a Time. She said it hit so close to home. Hashtag I love my parents.
Yes.
This is what she told me to put. While I am on the phone with her. Did you shit up? Oh, Billy wants to know if you've been getting her emails.
I got one, and it was whenever she sent me her address.
Okay, because she did ask right here on this one. She said, can you access, she received my email. For some reason, some of them aren't going through. And I said, that was after we had hung up. And I said, I will when she calls me in a few days. And I'm going to tell her the last one you got was her address.
And it's like we get our emails, we get them Monday through Friday. So on the weekends we don't have mail, not even on Saturday.
Right.
So that if she sent me an email like Saturday or Sunday or whatever, or even Friday.
And it's after 4 o'clock, right?
Right. So
okay,
yeah,
I remember that.
That's the way it works. Like sometimes I'll get an email from a couple days ago, and it's just because I guess it kind of depends on what time they send it at. Because like if it's 6 a.m. on that day, get it that day. But if it's after, I think, 2 o'clock or something, I'll get it the next day. But I did get the one where she sent me an email telling me her address.
I got you. Well, that's what I told her. That the last one the last one you received was her address, and you get them Monday through Friday, and after 4 o'clock.
Right.
So she'll probably, I got your card. Yeah, I hadn't checked the mail yesterday. So after we hung up, I was like, Dylan drove up, and I'm like, oh, shit, the mail. And he got he's like, I'm handing him an envelope, and he's like, what's this? I'm like, well, open it and read it. And he walked in his room, and he's like, oh, I got a card from my sister. And I got mine, and I put it on in the in the group, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's so sweet. I would have cried." Like, it made my heart smile, and they were like, "Oh, it's so touching." Just priceless. I pray for her to heal. All good.
So it's like I had to get a card because I'm like, Mother's Day is the 13th and Dylan's birthday is the 15th. So
right, I know.
And then
I was
looking through all the birthday cards, and I came across the one with the note, and I'm like thinking, hey, that's perfect, So
right.
I get that one. And they had so many different Mother's Day ones to choose from. But I liked that one the best because it's the most girliest and prettiest. So I chose that one.
Oh, I love it. And purple's my favorite color.
Good. And I can't get you real flowers right now, but someday I will. But for now, I guess the card will have to do.
Look, cards last forever. Flowers don't.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
very true.
Everybody was asking, what, I said, Rod asked me, I said, so my husband asked me what I wanted for Mother's Day. And somebody put flowers. And I'm like, no, flowers, no. You pay so much for them, and then they die. I said, that doesn't last, And he asked me again today. He's like, what you want? I'm like, I don't know. I never forget one time. This was, Dylan was, and I don't know why I remember this. It was my first Mother's Day. And your mom called me to tell me Happy Mother's Day.
This call is from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
And, we were just bullshitting, and I was asking her, oh, how your day's going, just, stuff in general. It was at that time we were getting along, but not, kind of. And she said, so what you got for Mother's Day? And I said, I got 4 new tires for my car. And she was like, are you serious? Is that what he got you? And I'm like, well, that's what I wanted. And she was like, why you didn't let him get you, jewelry or something? I said, because I needed tires for my car.
Yeah, that's something that you need and that you could use. It reminds me of this episode of Boy Meets World a long time ago, where the dad gave them for Mother's Day a trash compactor, and she's like, really, a trash compactor? Really? And he's like,
yeah.
But you said you were needing that.
Yeah,
what you really need, Sometimes jewelry
can't
give you the things that you need. It's got to be practical sometimes.
Right. And look, my tires lasted a long time.
A lot of tires.
Yeah, I needed tires for my car. But he cooked. Yeah, he went by some steak. He's like, well, what you want for supper? So I was like, I guess steaks. So Mia didn't want any steak, so she ate, because I cooked a weenie spaghetti yesterday, so she ate that. And then my mom walked down the street, and she can't eat, So I never got out of my pajamas today, and it was like awesome, laid back. I wasn't rushed to go to my sister's, to go to here, to go there. It was just like, for once I could stay home, because when the kids were little, I just wanted to stay home. We were like, oh no, the whole family's going to eat out, and and you got to come. I'm like, no, I don't have to go, but I go, and it's like, why can't I do a Mother's Day just what I want to do? Stay home in my pajamas all day or whatever, or not even have the kids argue. If my kids didn't argue for Mother's Day, I was the happiest person. But, like today, I've seen Dylan for maybe 10 minutes, and they went to Rayleigh's mom's house, and, they hadn't invited us to go, and Dad comes inside. He's like, you want to go by Rayleigh's mom and all? They cooking and all. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I want to stay home. So.
That was good. Nice.
So I did.
That's kind of just what I did, because today is my day, today and tomorrow. So I kind of just stayed in, because I don't like the heat. It was a hot day. And I just took a lot of naps. I didn't wake up because I didn't have school. I didn't wake up till 11:30, and then I thought about going to lunch, changed my mind, made me a bagel, and then I took me another nap, and then I finally woke up, watched my show, and now I'm seeing you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was a very relaxing day. And
hey.
Like, you always sleeping. I'm like, I'm not always sleeping. I just take naps. And they're like, you're too young to take naps. I'm like, there is no age limit to taking a nap.
Yeah, tell him you take after your dad. You like to take naps. Because Dad loves to take naps.
I mean, I'm like, it's more comforting, believe it or not, whenever somebody's taking a nap with me. It's weird. But if my bunkie is taking a nap, I'll take a nap too. Because it just
right.
For environment. So sometimes we're all taking a nap. And
right. That means, yeah. And then you don't have to worry about doing something that wakes her up. She don't have to do nothing about waking you up. You're both taking your nap. You know?
Yeah.
Which,
but
you know.
Tonight's a late night, so I think we're going to stay up playing Brain Game. It's a very unique kind of game. It's a National Geographic, and they have a bunch of different cards, and they have, like, visual things like this American flag, but you have to look at a dot in the center of it. And the American flag is not the colors of the real American flag, but whenever you stare at that dot for 30 seconds and then look at a wall, you'll see the red, white, and blue. And it's so cool. But it tricks your brain into doing all different kinds of little things. And so, like, when we started school, what I like using is to help our brains grow and kind of get used to thinking quickly and stuff. So we're probably going to stay up till 2 o'clock tonight like we did last night doing that. But I'm definitely setting my alarm so I can be up to watch Good Morning America tomorrow. So,
yeah, well, I'm on. Yeah. I don't know what time we're going to be on it, but I went on. I don't have Claudia as a friend, but she has it where, you know, you could see her page. And she posted the inside of the cover of the People's Magazine. And she said, People Magazine, go buy a copy. And some people asking her, you know, what time's the documentary? And she's like, HBO, Monday night at 9. She's being very civil, you know, in this one. But for the paper, the newspaper, she has a picture of it. And she says, when you get the Sunday paper early, and wow, see my dead sister on the front page and my godchild, the story will air on HBO Monday night at 9 p.m. in case anyone don't get the paper. Geez, enough already, missing my little sister. And the person I am, I wanted to tell, you know, I was telling my mom about it. It's like, I said, if I would to comment under her shit, I would be like, you don't even talk to Gypsy. You don't have the right to call her your godchild. She doesn't. You know, and I was telling my mom, I said, Gypsy, if Gypsy would have her number, because when she got off the phone with Tiffany, I said, she told me, she says, I'm going to call and tell them a big old fuck you because of what they're doing. And I said, you know, Gypsy said she's not going to beg these people to love her, you know, to be in their life. And my mom was like, I don't freaking blame her, you know. And, I mean, my mom has been so supportive.
I'm going to let her make her comments about, you know, the paper or whatever. But whenever anybody crosses the line to where they're calling y'all out or they're making unfair comments that or that I'm ready to step in. You know, I don't have Claudia's number anymore because it was in my Bible and I still call from the Bible, so I had to sway.
Right.
But
I'm putting my seatbelt on for tomorrow because I know that Tuesday or tomorrow night, there's gonna be shit said. I know she's gonna, you know, attack me, but it's funny that she didn't, because she still has your dad on her Facebook, and he still has Tiffany. But he don't pay attention to none of that. Girls, we nosy, okay? We want to see, you know. And but girls are different. So, I mean,
Well,
I'm just gonna not say nothing, and well, I'm gonna try. I can't promise you. I can't promise you because let me tell you something right now. If she says one thing about you that's bad, she better watch out because I'm gonna have to pray or count to 100.
You might count to 100.
Or something.
The best thing to do if that happens is vent to Dad or vent to somebody that cares, and don't post anything. Don't put anything online about them because number one, that could come back on us if we do the Dr. Phil show or whatever. That could come.
I know. I try to think of that. I know. I think of that. Trust me. I think of it, but it's like ugh.
I know.
It's like I wanna.
Yeah. Because
but you know what?
I thought things to those people that were bashing me or bashing y'all.
Right.
And I wanted to do that, while I was going to face and stuff, but couldn't. But
right.
I'm gonna do now, and though I don't always ask it, but I'm an adult, and I have to put my big girl panties on, and if I have to put my foot down and lay the law down with these people, I will. And
I know.
That way, over the phone, that way it can't come back on us because it's not in writing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
so
at the end of the day.
Gypsy said this.
Right.
And even if they can say Gypsy said this, yeah, I said it. It's fine, and I have a perfect reason to say that. It's justified.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be hard for me not to say something because you know who I am. I say it like it is. You don't like it, then, get out of the way. I don't sugarcoat nothing, and I try to remember in the back of my head, just like you said, what if we do Dr. Phil and all of this comes up? But let me tell you, what I say is I'm not bashing them. I'm defending me, you, Dad. You know what I'm saying? So they can't. At first, he could say, "Oh, why you make this statement?" Or whatever. Like the first day or something when we were like, please help us find Gypsy. Stuff like that. And, I did say that, I knew she could walk, and I didn't finish putting when she was a little girl, so everybody thought, oh, I knew you could walk all alone. And it's like, no, I didn't, my mind was going 100 miles a minute, and, my fingers weren't going as fast as what I was thinking, so I had to eat crow for that. There was a lot of people that were like second guessing me because I had said that, and it's like, y'all don't understand. And, and when I sat down and was calm and got it straight in my head, I put another long post explaining, look, sorry that, y'all came to this conclusion, this was second day, or, just stuff like that. So, that's the only really thing he could get me on. But then again, at the end of the day, I'm just a mom defending her family.
Right.
And
nobody can blame you or Dad for that. It's
right. All we care
everybody
about
likes to chime in and have their little
right.
comments and everything. And it's really none of anybody's business, or
right.
they don't have to speak on it. They're not directly involved.
Exactly. At the end of the day, all we care about on whose opinion means the most is yours. You know what I'm saying? Who cares if, so-and-so that we don't know or whatever says something about us. It's like, we learn to, shake that off, shake the dust off your shoulder, So, I mean, I'll read some shit in the big group, and they say some stupid ass shit in there, still to this day. But I don't even entertain it anymore. Like I did the first few months. I was like a Chihuahua girl. I mean, I was, that's just your mama. That's just your instinct. It's like, say about me all you want, but don't hurt my kids. And that goes for you. That goes for Mia. That goes for Dylan. I mean, and when you're going to become a mom one day, you're going to understand, that.
Right.
And, right. I mean, it's like it's my job to protect y'all,
Well,
and so, I mean, they could come up to their own
good
conclusion.
at protecting me already, and like for physical protection, I'm locked up. Physical, I'm fine.
Right.
It's my reputation. It's been a crazy, hectic ride, ups and downs, but y'all have helped so much to rebuild it and get people to understand my life and where it could and my thought process and just how everything to be. And, without y'all explaining and being there for support, people might just think, oh, well, she was using her, the abuse to get away with murder. But
right.
with y'all's support, it shows that people believe in me and people love me and that I have a good support system and that when I get out, it's not going to be, oh, she's getting out of prison, there's this dangerous person on the street and everything. And my roommate, she was like, what happens whenever you go home? And, do you have a support system? And I'm like, absolutely. I have very
bigger than what they can imagine.
Right, because I'm like, they're me 100%. And if I just need to talk or whatever, anything I need, I can just call and know that they're going to be there for me. Whether I'm having a bad day and I just need to talk or anything, and they're there. And a lot of people have that.
Yeah.
So it's not
one of the people,
one of myself. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
Trying to learn life, by myself.
Exactly. We got you, baby. Like one of the people asked Dad and I, does she have a therapist? And when he said that, may I? He said, Kristy. They talk 3 times, sometimes a week for hours.
Right.
And everybody was like, oh, so y'all talk a lot? I'm like, of course we do. I said, I said, she'll talk to her dad, I said, but there's some things that are just mama and daughter time, just girl talk, and I was like, that's what Kristy's there for, he said, do the girl talk with her and, and all of this stuff, and I mean, that's what I am. I mean, just like with Dylan, when Dylan has a problem, because he's a guy, he'll definitely go to Dad, depending on what it is. If it, depends on the situation. Some things he comes to me, but he mostly goes to Dad.
It just depends on what the advice is needed and, stuff like that. And I'm like, my roommate also brought something up that I didn't think about because it didn't even click in my mind, and I'm wondering if anybody else may have thought about this. Besides, the people that I, live with and everything, is that whenever I get out and I get settled and everything, when that time comes that I want to have kids, that will I be a mom like my mom was? Will I do the same thing to my child? And I looked at her and I was like, no, I would never put my child through that. And
no, because
because
you know how it felt.
In that situation, I would never, put my child at risk or anything for that. I have no traits of showing those symptoms or thoughts or anything like she did. Because I'm like, if I have a healthy child, wonderful. That's amazing. That is exactly what I hope for. You hope your child is healthy. And,
because you're going to raise... Yeah, you're going to raise that baby you're going to do so opposite of your mom because you lived it,
Exactly.
So it's a good example of what not to do, what your mom did, and look, I hate to even put her down in that aspect, because, like you said, if you would have been that sick, she would have been the best mom, take care of you,
Right.
But you're not going to do that to your kid. And look, we're going to be around. We're going to be more aware, I mean, not that we're going to, not if you're going to come to the house and say, I think my baby has a cough or whatever, well, shit, bring them to the doctor, I mean, I brought Dylan and Mia to the doctor all the time when they were young because they can't, especially a baby,
They can't speak for themselves.
No, right. Ever since Dylan and Mia were old enough to explain what they were feeling to the doctor, walk in, the doctor would ask, okay, Mia, or Mom, what's wrong? And I'm like, Mia's going to tell you, or Dylan's going to tell you because I don't know what they're feeling. I know they're having stomach cramps or whatever the cause is, but they could tell you where it's hurting. And, and I just sit down and I'll let Dylan explain. That I always did that. And when they were old enough to speak for themselves, where it hurts, what you're feeling, and, Camille would ask me, like, well, how long it's been going on? Okay, a couple of days, or whatever, and...
Right, you have to have, like,
but I wouldn't, I wouldn't...
Some more difficult questions, but for the child, they can explain what they're feeling and if they're hurting or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I sure didn't tell my kids.
I'm like,
I
have a perfect role model for, a mother. I grew up that way, but now I have a good role model for a mother. So I don't at all think that I would ever show those aspects of that at all. Because I'm like, victim of it, never put a child through that, So I mean, if I had to grow and learn how to be a mother, I would take those, take notes from you. I would model my parenting after you from what you showed me. You're a wonderful mother. You've taken me on, even though I'm not your biological child. You've taken me
You're
on
mine.
Your daughter,
You are my child.
There's so many men that would never do that. They'd be like, oh, well, she's your kid or whatever,
Right.
But you didn't do that.
Right.
And I'm just so thankful for you,
Yeah, and if it would have been a normal world, for us with you, and everything would have been normal, and your mom would have let you live, the life you were meant to live. I think we would have had a close bond.
Yeah.
Because look, your dad forgets a lot of shit. I could tell him something, and 10 minutes later, babe, you did that? Oh, shit, I forgot. Stuff like that. I would be like, it's her birthday. We need to call her today. Stuff like that. If you just walk in, if you want to tell him hi. Yeah. Dad's right here. I have you on speaker. I'm going to go to the bathroom while y'all talk. Y'all talk a minute and I'm going to go to the bathroom.
What's up?
Hey, Dad. How are you doing?
All righty. I was in the shop playing my guitar.
Nice. I told Mom,
Yep.
I said, I called earlier, but the phones have been really shitty lately. Like, of all days for the phones to be acting up, it has to be on Mother's Day. So I called her earlier, and we had talked, and I just got done watching my favorite show, so I told her, please post in the group that I just watched the season finale of Once Upon a Time, and it hit so close to home, so hashtag I love my parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
like,
awesome.
That's my
Well,
favorite
good.
show. And the show's
Yeah.
all about, like, family and hope and love, and I'm like, I just have to post that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, good.
And
I'm glad you called.
Oh, yeah. I call Mom probably more than I should.
That's all right.
Sometimes I just need to talk.
Yeah, that's right. That's good.
Yeah.
Call anytime you want, as much as you want.
Oh,
And if you don't answer, you
Looking
can call me
forward-
anytime too.
Oh, yeah, I do. Trust me, I do.
You have
I'm
my
so
phone
looking
number
forward
too?
to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all on Good Morning America.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. You get to see that, huh?
Yeah,
good.
I get to see
At least
that.
you get to see that. I don't know how long it's gonna be. Like they just said, they was recording it, and I guess we'll see what they have on there.
I don't know if it's going to be edited or if they're just going to play the whole thing. But whatever it is, I'm definitely going to set my alarm, so I'll be up. And
Yeah,
so
me too. I'm gonna be at.
we'll be watching at the same time, drinking coffee.
Yeah,
I have to pull out my roommate. Look, it's my dad, it's my mom. You guys got to come and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all dressed up and everything for you. So.
Yeah. And tomorrow I'm going to go to the library because I heard that there was an article in the Springfield paper. So I'm going to go get a copy of it because I have a copy card and I can just go up there and they can scan it and I can get copies of it. So I'm going to get like 1 or 2 copies made.
So you go online. You got to go online to get a copy made, or at the library, or no? Or they have the paper in the library.
Our library, it has the like all of the surrounding areas local paper, and they have the Springfield paper. So and they have like a copy machine, and if you have like a little copy card, it costs like $2 for 20 copies for each card.
Right.
So I like to keep it handy just in case anything is in the paper. I can get a copy of it. So that's what I plan on doing. Cool. Yeah.
Cool. Good.
Well, I'm gonna let y'all go because it's almost count time. But I love you so much, and tell Mom again, Happy Mother's Day.
Okay, baby. I love you too.
Okay, I love you. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, baby. Bye.
The caller has hung up.